Hi everybody, this is Dr. Hinson. I've had a couple of requests from patients who wanted me to talk a little bit more about my laser that we use in the practice and treating patients. And so I thought I'd make a short little video kind of demonstrating a unique way that we use the laser that you may not have heard of before. You know, a lot of times people think of the laser as simply just a point and shoot mechanism or a tool. And we use the laser one of two ways. We use the laser as a point and shoot for healing tissue and wounds, ligaments, muscles, tendons, all that stuff. But there's another way we use it, and that is to actually improve cell communication throughout the body as a whole. So what we're going to do here is I've recruited a guinea pig to be my helper in this video. This is my son Ty. And so one of the things we use is that we use the laser for is to, like I said, improve cell communication. One of the ways we do that is in the office, we use a lot of muscle testing because muscle testing is an excellent biofeedback tool to help us know where weaknesses are in the body. So when I'm testing him, I'm not trying to see how strong his arm is, I'm just trying to match pressure. But what we're going to do in this video is we're going to treat one of the nerves of the brain that controls focus and the ability to see things or lock into things that are close up and lock into things that are far away. So it really has a lot to do with focus and concentration. Now, neurologically, this is known as cranial nerve 3, or the nerve that is associated with accommodation, helping us see things close up and far away and being able to focus on those. So we're going to do this little test with Ty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him focus on this pen, and then I'm going to have him look off in the distance at a tree across the street. And we're going to see how his body handles the function of, or how his body's handling that stress to that nerve. So one of the things I'm going to have him do, let's hold this muscle tight. So he has a nice strong muscle there. I'm going to have him close his eyes, and then when he opens, he's going to focus on this pen that'll be about 12 inches in front of his face. So go ahead and close your eyes for me, and then go ahead and open and focus on the pen. And then I want you to hold this nice and strong for me, so hold tight. So when he tries to do that, the muscle shuts off because the stress that nerve is under, just trying to get him to focus on this, is pretty high. So if I have him go look off in the distance, go ahead and do that for me. So look at that, focus on that for a minute. All right, and then come back to this. So he weakens in all three, which means he's gonna have a really tough time concentrating in school, for example. So if you know kids who have been labeled ADD, or don't focus or concentrate well, I see this a lot in adults. This is a very common nerve weakness I find. Then there's a way to fix that. The other thing I've done with this nerve is with athletes. So football players, baseball players, especially baseball players, the ability to see the ball coming at them from a pitcher. This makes a dramatic improvement in how well they see the ball. Most of them will come back and report after we fix that the ball seemed to be a little slower. And it wasn't that the ball was slower, it was just now that nerve is able to keep track of the ball all the way from the pitcher to them. So he's got this weakness here, and so we're going to use the laser to help strengthen that. So what I'm going to do is stimulate his brain stem, and I'm going to have him focus on the pen. Then I want you to focus on the bush. And what you'll notice, come back, is he starts to blink a lot. Keep going back and forth. That's one of the things you'll see in someone who has this nerve weakness. You can see he's starting to blink, and you'll see him stop blinking here in just a minute. So keep going back and forth between the two. So what the laser does is beginning to increase the amount of stress that this nerve in his brain that controls his ability to see things close up and far away, it's increasing the amount of stress that nerve can handle. Keep going back and forth. And see, he's just starting to blink like crazy. Just keep going back and forth. Okay, so we're going to stop that there. And let's do a follow-up, really. Hold this nice and strong for me. Close your eyes. Open, look at this pen. Hold your focus there, hold tight. So now when he does that, he's much stronger than he was before. Look off at the bush. Focus on that, hold tight. And then come back to the pen. So the muscle turns on. So now he's strong in all three parts of that test. Now, we want to increase the threshold for this nerve. In other words, we want to strengthen him, so we may want to do this a couple of more times over, course of a few visits in an effort to strengthen that nerve. What that will do is it'll make it easier for him to focus in school. Reading won't be so difficult, because when that nerve is stressed or weak, it's very hard for people to stay focused on the reading. They'll start reading and then they'll lose their place or forget what they're reading, or their mind starts to wander off. So this is a really, really cool way. So this is one of the ways we use the laser, okay? And what you'll notice is it made an immediate change. It wasn't something that we had to wait 10 visits to fix. I mean, there was an immediate effect. So that's one of the really cool things we use the laser for. And I'll be making some future videos describing other ways we use the laser to help the different nerves of the legs and the arms and the neck and all that stuff. So if you have any questions, private message me, and talk to you next time. Thanks.